So the notion that if you're religious, somehow you become an angel in your desires is simply not true. I did the story of Yusuf. وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ وَهَمَّ بِهَا. And I explained that story according to the very clear language. And there is no need to go jump around. She desired him, he desired her. But he saw Allah's test. There's nothing irreligious about having a legitimate, natural attraction as long as it is not acted upon. And this notion that if you're religious, you won't get permissible desires or you won't want permissible relationships, this notion is not coming from Islam. This is another interesting point. It's a tangent, but it needs to be said. Where does this notion come from that considers sex and sexuality and romance to be evil? It actually comes from ancient Christianity, from medieval notions of Christianity. It comes from the Victorian era. There were ancient Christians. Origen, one of the ancient Christian fathers, died 254. He claimed that the serpent who had seduced Eve seduced her sexually. So he began this notion that all sexual activity must inherently be evil. The main person that is blamed for this is Saint Augustine, again 400 CE, way before Islam, 20 years before Islam. Saint Augustine, by the way, he has been diagnosed in modern times as basically being a borderline psychotic. He was a sexual pervert, a deviant in so many ways. And he felt, believe it or not, that even married couples should view sex as a necessary evil. Like even married couples should have this negative attitude towards romance. And they should do it grudgingly. They should do it without any enjoyment. To enjoy it within marriage, we're talking about, is a sin in the eyes of God. Now, this is something that we do not find even a whiff of in our Islamic tradition. That's why when Allah describes Jannah with hurun ain, it's only modern Muslims who find it problematic, right? Classical medieval Muslims never had a problem with this whatsoever. Later Christianity, medieval Christianity, and especially Victorian era, Europe, they had these views on sexuality that actually shaped, believe it or not, our own modern views, us, the Muslim world as well. And we have these notions of religious folks not having any desires. Well, we see what happens when they try to do that in their church. We see what happens. Doesn't work that way. Believe it or not, Christianity at some points in time even forbade couples from engaging in intimacy 5 days of the week. Believe it or not. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it was haram. Only Tuesday, Wednesday, you had, 2 days. I'm sure they're looking forward to Tuesdays if you're practicing Catholic of those time frames. So, and even then, by the way, even Tuesday, Wednesday, if it was Lent or season, even then it's not allowed. I mean, they have very weird views. And Victorian times came and cemented these. And they had this notion that enjoying sex is somehow backward or not enjoyed by enlightened people. And romance should not be done. Well, frankly, these notions have no basis in the Quran and Sunnah whatsoever. And they fly in the face of experienced reality. Which is why, by the way, again, all of this is tangent. I didn't intend to talk 10 minutes about this. But the whole sexual liberation movement of the 70s, it is a reaction to Christianity and to Victorian times. When you stifle and you stifle and you stifle, what's going to happen? This, what we see now, a fahisha, it is because they didn't embrace regular sexuality. When you're going to make everything haram and forbidden and whatnot, well then when the floodgates open, khalas, now we have to deal with this reality. So my point is, let's go back to what I'm talking about. We're going to embark on a segment of the seerah that deals with marriage. And we have to acknowledge from the beginning that religiosity and piety has nothing to do with natural desires. We need to get out of our minds. Our Prophet ﷺ, like he likes to have good food, there's nothing wrong with him wanting to marry a lady. The perfection is he never ever did anything outside of marriage. That's the perfection. The perfection is he is controlling his desires and never even staring with a lustful stare. This is the perfection.